Ba-da-da-da-da. Vinnie Ramone. Man, what a name. Is that your real name? How cool is that? All right, so in answer to why would you want to do this, or what would be the practical uses, I don't know. Let me try and keep this simple. I've been working on a massive project called the Mini Dream Break, which kind of stitches a whole bunch of stuff together, and you can take any one of those components and pull them apart or put them back together. So, see if you can see that. It's two different boards that were split. And before, I used to have all this stuff on one double deck board, and it was kind of hard to fit it in a backpack or move it around, or sometimes, like, properly whilst working on stuff, you're standing. Sometimes I want stuff to the left, sometimes I want stuff to the right. And at all times, I would want it to be controlled by this. Why? Ergonomics becomes a big thing. If you're composing, like on a live thing, this is useful. This all started because I saw this guy who did karaoke, and he'd been doing it for like 20 years. And he turned up at my club and set up this big massive screen to put the words in. I was like, okay, well, that's great for the guests. He's like, no, it wasn't for the guests, it's for me. I can't remember 600 songs worth of lyrics. So as I'm passing up and down the hall, there's my reminder. Bing. So I found this thing called OnSong, which does that, but it also does major MIDI, and it switches stuff around, and it works wirelessly, as you will see here. So I've rigged this up to run my variacs. As you can see, can run through this and pick things very specifically. Wilson Jazz remote. That guitar belongs to a bud of mine, and he saved it into a Sim 1, and I took it. And so I can change between pickups just by hitting that. Come on, thing. Yeah, my SG. So this is my personal application. I need something that you were like teaching stuff as a student. This is what I would want a teacher to present me with. It's like, what's the difference between this guitar and that guitar? Blam, 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 pop, and it works. In more practical terms, more common terms, you could use this wireless MIDI to simply put your gear down on stage, or simply not. What I plan to do is the purple thingy over there, over there, I can't reach it, that thing, has only 4 buttons and 4 different modes. And with just 4 buttons and 4 modes, I can hit stop, play, next, backwards. That's all I need. That drives this, and this drives an entire rig worth of stuff. And how big that rig gets is expandable. So that's my idea behind this, is to squeeze down into as little as possible on stage, or more likely in practice or when composing. I can select kind of guitar, kind of amps, everything moves automatically because this is now driving it wirelessly, which is great. If I need sound, I've got to connect up USB. But if I'm on stage with this stuff or want to do something, I have one audio cable to connect between the Sim 1 board and its stuff and the other board and its stuff, and then 2 stereo outs, and that's it. Everything's battery powered and wireless. It saves me a ton of hassle, because as I've gone to other musicians and explained, oh, you gotta see the system, you gotta see those stuff, they're like, great. And I'm there 15 minutes faffing around with cords and cables and stuff, and is this the right in or the right out? Wireless resolves all that in one go. And for what I'm doing, it's stable, because you're only sending PC commands, CC commands, maybe the occasional note or something, but you're not here like a keyboard is pumping out masses of MIDI. For what I'm doing, it's a very workable solution to make all this stuff work. And what the Witty Buds will do for me, hopefully, is as they auto configure, and you've got an app where you can go in and say, okay, this Witty Bud, you can name it and say that connects to that, that, and that. As soon as it comes into contact with those things, when you power it up in sequence, boom, done. So that I can kill and it will still work, which would be great. So it's basically the sum of it. I want a wireless controller that can be battery powered. I can leave it downstairs or upstairs with 90 feet. I can stay downstairs with the family and play with the, what do you call them? The whattaaap headphones. I could literally walk in, pick those up. It's connected up here, sync between the two of them, and I've got wireless guitar, wireless sound, and all the effects in the world. So, happy camper. For a composing type thing or learning or studying type thing, that's ideal. On stage, same thing can be applied. You can remotely set up control positions around the stage. If you have a really active show and you're running around and doing stuff, you could, with that little purple thing, go up to a point on the stage, stand there with your wireless guitar, continue to change your scenes, use your wah, and it's that big. When you need to break it down and go home, you just pick that up, put it in your pocket, and go. All of your rig can stay in a rack or on your boards, but you no longer need them. So massive savings in brain power and having to manually do stuff. If you want to manually do stuff, you can go back to doing it manually. But automation for this stuff is the way to go, I think, because who needs to remember all that stuff? Better to pre-program it and then hit play and fire away, and you've got everything there that you need and no way to make mistakes. That's why.